Okay, so I'm trying something different. We'll see how it works. This is the document camera was not all I had hoped it would be. So this is kind of a rig up of my cell phone. So we'll see what happens. All right, this is going to be a video going over the inequality practice. And I haven't 100% decided how I'm going to get this to you yet because I want you to try the practice before you watch this video. So just be ready. I may have you email me saying I'm ready for the video on how to do it. I may make it an individual assignment on Canvas per student. I'm not really sure yet. So I'm just going to record the video right now. All right, so this is my first time going through these questions. So if I make a mistake, I'll try to catch it. If you catch me making a mistake later, let me know. But this shouldn't be too bad. All right, so the first question was write the inequality that is represented on the number line below. Okay, so this is our number line. It says write a real world problem that is represented by the inequality graphed on the number line and identify a solution on the number line and explain its meaning using the real world problem created. All right, so the first thing we know is we know that this is, we're going to use, let's use n instead of x. N, some number, is greater than this number. So let's check our scale. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. N is greater than 13. It cannot be 13 because that's an open circle. All right, so let's just think about a word problem maybe that we could do. So more than 13. In order to save 20% off of donuts, you must buy more than 13 donuts. Something like that. I'm not going to write it all out because you can hear what I'm saying. What you could write out, if you had to write something out, is, I'll just write it out. In order to save 20% on donuts, you must buy more than 13. And then it says identify solutions. So could n be 15? Yep. Could n be 100? Yep. Could n be 12? No, because 12 is over here. Could n be 13? No, it cannot, because it cannot be equal to 13. All right, and then we've got another one just like that. So we've got write an inequality, and an inequality has an inequality sign. Greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to. These equal signs that I'm putting down here are just asking the question, could n be this number? All right, so here we have number 2. Write the inequality that is represented on the number line. So let's see what we've got here. We've got 0, and I'm assuming this is a 1, but let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, write a real-world problem that is represented by the inequality graphed on the number line. So what is the inequality? It is n is greater than 1. Can't be 1, but it can be any number greater than 1. So we need a little word problem for this. In order to complete an assignment, you must complete at least one problem. Now, does that work? That doesn't work because at least is actually, it could be 1. So let's change this to more than one problem. More than one problem. That's better. Okay, let's make that a capital I. And then what are some checks? So could you complete 10 problems? Yep. Could you complete no problems? No. You need to have at least, or you have to have more than one. So could you complete one problem? No. 2? Yes, 2 works. 2 is right there. Okay, let me slide this up so we can do number 3. Okay, this graph shows T, the temperatures in degrees Celsius when water will freeze. All right, so we've got a closed circle, and it's on 0, and the line is definitely going through the negative integers there. So when I look at, and always remember when you're doing multiple choice, you're looking for the best representation. All right, so all of them have T's. It's not helpful. We know because it's a closed circle, it has to be this one or this one. Those are the only 2 it can be. So it cannot be that one, cannot be that one. And let's see. If T is greater than 0, let's put a number in there. 1 is greater than 0. 2 is greater than 0. 3 is greater than 0. The 1, 2, and 3 are over here where there's no line. So let's look at here. -1 is less than 0. -2 is less than 0. -3 is less than 0. So that is your answer. And just to be safe, I have the answers because I'm a little brain dead from not seeing you guys all the time. So let's see. 3 is D. Got that one right. Okay, let's move on. All right, so we have number 4. Robbie wrote the inequality below to represent S, the cost of the school supplies he needs to buy. Which statement is represented by this inequality? So before we read through the statements, let's just analyze what we have here. We have an S. We have a less than sign, not a less than or equal to, but less than 38. So let's think about that for a minute. It can't be 38. S cannot equal 38. What kind of numbers can it equal? Can it equal 40? Not if it's less than. Can it equal 20? Yeah, 20 would fit in there. All right, so let's look at our answer choices. Robbie estimated that his school supplies will cost more than $38. Well, more than, that's not it. So let's cross that one out. Robbie estimated that his school supplies will cost less than $30. That could be. Let's keep an eye on that one. Robbie estimated that his school supplies will cost $38 or less. So we checked up here. Could it be $38? Nope. So it can't be that one. Robbie estimated that his school supplies will cost $38. Well, we already said it can't be $38. So I'm thinking it's B. Let me just check the answers. 4 is B. Okay. Let's look at number 5. Tammy had $1.25 to spend. Her sister, Missy, had more money to spend. Let M represent the amount of money Missy had. Which inequality correctly represents the value of M? All right, so Tammy had $1.25. Missy had more. So Missy had more. That's pretty easy. But did Missy have $1.25? From reading this, I don't think so. Let's read it one more time. Tammy had $1.25 to spend. Her sister, Missy, had more money to spend. Let M represent the amount of money Missy had. Which inequality correctly represents the value of M? All right, so this is what I wrote. So let's take a look and see if I was right. If what I wrote is right, then A is the answer because none of the rest of them match. And 5 is A. Okay, we got that one right. Let me slide this up. All right. Maria would like to leave a tip of at least 15%. So these are important words here. At least 15% of her dinner bill. Which inequality best could be used to find the amount of tip Maria would like to leave? All right, so one thing I do want to talk to you about real quick in case this is confusing anybody. This is multiplication. multiplicate, oh my gosh, multiplication. Whenever you have a coefficient or a rational number right next to a variable, that means you're going to multiply. All right, so we'll worry about that in a minute. Let's read through it again. Maria would like to leave a tip of at least. So that means it could be, we're just going to use this term, 0.15b. It could be that, so we know we need that. But will the tip be, could it be more than that or less than that? At least actually means more. So I'm going to do this. T has to be greater than this number or equal to this number. And I know this is difficult, but because all of these are the same, even if you don't understand what that's doing, it's not a big deal. You just have to decide which of these is right because all of those are the same. So when I look at what I did and I look down the answers, it looks to me like B is the best option. Let me just check the answers. And it is B. B is your best option. 7. More than 1 million people visit the Great Barrier Reef near Australia each year. If V represents the number of visitors in any year, which number sentence best describes any possible number of visitors in a year? Okay. It's a lot of words. Let's go back to the beginning. More than 1 million people. All right, so let's look down at our answers. They're all 1 million. That's easy. And then it looks like we just need the more than sign. So visitors more than 1 million. That's not so bad. So if I'm right, it's going to be D. 7 is D. Okay. Let's go to the next one. All right, so now we've got a graph, and we've got to interpret the graph. And this says negative y. Which of the following number lines represents the graph of the inequality? Okay, so usually the first thing, oh, this is a tricky one. We have to take care of something first. Let me rewrite this. This cannot be. We cannot have a negative y there. So to make it a positive y, this is kind of something you're going to do pretty frequently as you move on in math. You multiply both sides, because you have to do both sides for everything, by negative 1. Okay? And then we got this guy named Sleepy Man. And this only works for multiplication and division. So if I cover up the two negatives, my answer is going to be positive. So negative y times negative 1 is y, and negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Now, there's another tricky thing that I think is in the video you watched yesterday, and if not, I'm going to explain it to you right now. So, because I did this, because I multiplied, and in other problems divided by a negative number, I have to flip the sign. Okay? Then, on top of that, you really want the y to be over here. Now, you can't do this. That is not the same thing as what the answer really is, which is this. This is the answer. This is not. Because for this one, the answer could be negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. Let's use 0 because that's easy. Negative 4 is less than 0. Let's just write that down. Negative 4 is less than 0. That is true. If I put it here, is 0 less than negative 4? No. If I put it here, 0 is greater than negative 4. So this is what you want to look for the graph. So let's take a look. We need a negative 4. So this one has a negative 4, this one has a negative 4, and these two do not. So those are out. We need the y's to be greater than negative 4. So these, they're less than. So the answer is B, and I just checked it, and that is correct. So that is a lot of instruction that you didn't get, maybe specifically because we're not together in the classroom. So please rewind and watch this problem again. If it didn't make sense, you're going to need it in 7th grade. You're going to need it in 8th grade. It's never going away. So make sure you understand all the steps that I did on this one, okay? So this is the final way to write that. Now, if you graphed this, I don't even know how you would have graphed it, but I'm guessing without instruction, you guys probably picked C, because that's the one that looks closest. But the biggest takeaway from this is you can never have a negative when it's just a y by itself, or just an x by itself, or just an n by itself. You have to make it positive. All right, that was a lot. All right, let's look at this one. The graph shown represents the solution of which inequality? All right, this is a lot easier. We got an open circle, so it has to be one of those two. It's going this way, which means 4 could be an answer, 5 could be an answer, and those numbers are greater than. So we need this one. It starts on +3. So those are all the pieces that we need. We need a +3, we need a greater than. So let's look. Well, that's a -3, that's out. -3, that's out. All right, so now we got some +3s, but we need a greater than. 9 is D. Okay, let's look at 10. Which graph represents the solution to the inequality x is less than 4? All right. So this one is totally cool. There's nothing wrong with this one. So let's just take it as it is. That's a -4, so that's not it. That's a -4, that's not it. Now we have 2 4s, but the inequality is telling us that it's all the numbers less than 4. So this would be the answer, because these are greater than 4, and 10 is C. All right, let's look at 11. Which graph below represents the inequality x is less than or equal to -3? Now this -3 is fine. There's nothing wrong with that -3. If that was negative, that would be a problem. All right, so we know we need -3s. This is a +3, so that doesn't work. This is a +3, so that doesn't work. All right, these are both -3s, and they're both going the same way, so that's not helpful. The thing that's helpful is this. This means it's a filled-in circle, which means the answer is D. Okay, now we got number 12. Nick sent over 100 texts yesterday. This can be expressed as T is greater than 100. Which graph better represents this situation? Justify why you chose that graph. Okay, so hopefully you all would have picked this one, because this one represents all the numbers greater than 100. This one just looks weird. This isn't showing any kind of motion, really. It's not in a format that we're looking for. So this one just looks weird. Okay, and the last one. Pretend you're grading Johnny's work. He is to model tire pressure using an inequality and a graph. Johnny's manual for his car states that each tire's air pressure should be less than 44 psi, which is pounds per square inch. Decide if Johnny's inequality and graph are correct. Explain how you know they are correct or how to fix any errors. So we need pressure to be less than 44. When you look at this, if we put the P on the left side where it should be and make it mean the same thing, this is pressure is greater than 44, which means he's going to blow up his tire. All right, so there's one thing that's wrong, but let's see his graph. His graph is actually correct. It's an open circle, and it's all the numbers less than 44. So I would say graph is correct. Inequality needs to be that instead. All right, so keep an eye out for how watching this will help you get a better grade. And I don't even know if we're doing grades yet by the time you guys read this, but I am going to have the exact same practice, take 2 on SchoolNet as well. I'm thinking maybe I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet, but once I see that you have taken it, I'll probably email you a link to the video and the code to retake it. And you should get 100 when you retake it if you watch the whole video. All right, hope you guys are doing okay. That didn't record. I'm gonna be so mad.